peered into the sanctuary and could not believe what I saw. It's September 11, yes, that 9/11, 2020. And this is Thomas Ramundo with this week's Friday Focus on Faith. Anyone old enough to remember can picture the sights and sounds 19 years ago today, the day terrorists took down the Twin Towers in New York, and with them the lives of nearly 3,000 Americans. That awful Tuesday morning found my church staff huddled together around a television in one of the classrooms, watching as the tragic events unfolded. Eventually, we had a prayer time together and then went our separate ways to get to work. So I was in my office at the start of the noon hour when my secretary poked her head in the door. "Excuse me, Pastor, but I think you'll want to come down to the sanctuary and see what's happening." Now, our church was known throughout the community for its emphasis on prayer, and we regularly advertised that our doors were always open for those who would like a place to pray. From time to time, a person or two took us up on the opportunity, but I was unprepared for the sight before me. As I peered through the lobby windows into the sanctuary, I could see the place was packed. Packed front row to back, aisle to aisle. It would have taken the proverbial shoehorn to squeeze in just one more person. Some were from my congregation. Most I did not even recognize. While many prayed quietly, others wept openly. And the remarkable thing was, they had just started showing up. They came from everywhere. One or two at a time, no invitation, no announcement, no organized prayer effort. They were just drawn to a place of prayer. I called my wife, who was at home, so choked up I could barely speak, and told her what was happening. She quickly drove down to the church, and together we walked to the front of the sanctuary to join others who were kneeling along the altar in prayer. Well, what drew these people from other churches, and some who only knew our church from driving past it or hearing about it? Well, you know the answer to that as well as I do. It was the collective hurt and fear an entire nation was feeling, and the need to turn to God, who is our only sufficient refuge and strength in times of trouble. They had come to pray for our country, for our leaders, and for 3,000 families suddenly grieving. And that same scene was repeated that night. The place packed again, only this time for an announced prayer service. Well, these days our country is once more in desperate need of prayer, albeit for different reasons than on 9/11, 2001. Let's you and I go often to the throne of grace to pray for healing, peace, and unity, and a return to God all across this vast nation of ours. Thank you.